Final Fantasy 16. Oh my goodness, my little degenerates. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It took me a while to beat this fucking game, you know. I've been busy with work and life and work and life. But I finally beat Final Fantasy 16. And my god, I just gotta say, this is gonna be a Final Fantasy game I'm gonna treasure for the rest of my fucking life, alright? Because I know after this game, we are never getting a Final Fantasy game like this ever again. This game is fucking amazing. This is the weirdest game I played this year. And you want to know why? Because it has the best highs. The best highs. But goddamn, it has the most lowest lows. It's like a weird ass roller coaster ride where it's just like over the top, crazy kaiju battle, and then out of nowhere it becomes a fucking MMO kind of boring side quest adventure game. And it's like, bro, like what is this game, bro? What is this? With a cool ass fucking protagonist, Clive, and with a great ass combat system, and my god, jumble that up together and what do you get? Final Fantasy 16. This game is fucking weird, but I love it. I fucking love this game. Oh my goodness. So I just gotta say, you know, let me pull out my credentials. My first Final Fantasy game, funny enough, is 15. I know, you're like, oh my god, 15? Oh, fuck. Oh, throw him in the garbage. But no, like, on some real shit, Final Fantasy 15 was my first Final Fantasy game. I picked it up because I saw the original trailer for it, where they renamed it Final Fantasy 15. And I remember that trailer, and it was fucking amazing. I was like, whoa, this looks incredible for its time. And so it instantly clicked me. I was like, I'm gonna try this out. And then the game came out, and I'm talking about the vanilla version of 15. It was fucking rough. 15 had the most roughest combat system. It open world was fucking lame. And just overall, there were some plot points that made absolutely no fucking sense. But overall, the journey with Noctis and the crew really, really touched me, and it really hit home the themes of brotherhood so well, and it just touched me. And there was a reason why near the end, spoilers for that game, when Noctis is talking to his friends near the end of that game, and he's saying, like, you know, he's basically saying his goodbyes, but also saying, like, I fucking love you guys. I started breaking down fucking crying because it's so well done and well voice acted. So 15 was my first Final Fantasy game. It wasn't the best. She wasn't the best, but she took me virginity, alright? So she's my sweetheart, alright? Leave her alone. But 15 is not the best. Then they came out with the Royale Edition. The Royale Edition helped the game a lot. But then everybody was like, you gotta play 7. 7 is the shit. And then I played 7. And 7 is my favorite Final Fantasy. I know that's generic. I know everyone's gonna be like, oh, this was a fucking generic answer. But it's true, though. It has the best world. It has the best characters. Like, so much lovable characters. It has the most coolest fucking villain. You know when a motherfucker is that shit. Sephiroth is that shit when they literally, the fucking chorus is singing and saying his name. That's all you need to know about Sephiroth, alright? He's that motherfucking G. Like that was a journey. That was such a journey. And here comes 16, and 16 has to live up to this grand legacy. And it's made by the team who does the MMO Final Fantasy 14. And so for me, going into this game, I was a little bit skeptical because they said this is not going to be like a traditional Final Fantasy game. You're not going to have a party system. Main character is Clive Rosfield, and he's going to be your main protagonist throughout the whole game, and that's it, you know. And I was like, okay, this is different. But after playing the game, I'm like, motherfuckers, Oh my goodness. I was like, yeah, this is a game made for me. And it really helps. And I think the highlight of this game is the fucking icon battles. All right, the icon battles in this game is fucking amazing. And like, this shit reminded me of Asura's Wrath. I don't know if anyone's played that fucking Capcom game. It was made by CyberConnect 2, and it was like this really cool, like, shonen anime slash fucking over the top game where you play as Asura and he's trying to get revenge for you know people kidnapping his daughter, and the game gets wild and wild and wild as it goes on. This was the same shit, all right? This shit was wild. From the opening of the game, and you could go play the demo right now if you don't fucking believe me. From the opening of the game, you do the little tutorial of learning how to fight and whatnot, and then after that, you get to know your characters. You get to know Clive and how he's viewed, the world, the state of the world, and the war between different factions and the Mother Crystal. And you're just learning about this, and then tragedy strikes, and the game just goes off the wall bonkers when fucking the Phoenix pops out, and then out of nowhere Ifrit pops out, and these two are clashing. And one of the things I loved about this game is that this game does such an amazing job of showing you how incredible but also destructive the fucking icons are. These are gods amongst gods, and all the icons are based off of the Final Fantasy summons in the game. So Shiva, Titan, Garuga, all of them are like Final Fantasy summons that you would get in the game. But this time you're actually battling these Titans, and my god, is it fucking amazing. Like, the first one is literally like a bullet storm game where you're like shooting, like you're trying to shoot down Ifrit as you play as the Phoenix, and it's just like they're underground under the castle, and it's just the most epic shit, and the music is going hard as fuck. I'm like, oh my goodness, this shit is fucking amazing, and it just does not let up, and that's just the opening. I didn't even get to my favorite one, the Titan fucking one. Like, fucking the Titan one is amazing. Like, oh my goodness. Throughout the whole game, halfway through the game, and again, spoilers for this game, alright? If you did not play this shit, like, you need to go. You need to go and play this shit. Like, seriously, go play this shit. But, you get to Titan, and, Titan, throughout the whole game, I think it's Kutrov is his name. I'm sorry if I butchered the name, but yeah, like, throughout the whole game, he has this fucking rivalry with Clive because Clive killed his fucking girlfriend, and Clive is kind of framed. But we're not gonna get into the story details. But my god, fucking he kills your people from the hideout, from your little hideout. He kills a bunch of your people, although none of them really dies. None of the main side characters fucking die. It is what it is. He comes in there, he slaughters your fucking dude. Fucking Jill gets kidnapped halfway through. You're trying to get to this fucker, and then all of a sudden you two go face to face, and he's just sitting there waiting for you on the steps, just waiting. And then he gives his fucking monologue about like how you fucking took his beloved, and fucking Clive is like, I don't give a fuck, and these two go at it. And it's like a cool ass fucking battle where he's just throwing rocks at you. He's jumping in the air, slam pounding on the ground, and you gotta jump out of the way or dodge out of the way. Incredible shit, bro. Incredible shit. And then near the end of the fight, Clive cuts off his fucking hands, and then he goes away from this other character. And then later on, and this is where again we're gonna get into the lows of this game. Later on, you gotta go find him again, and then you get to his fucking base, and he transforms into Titan. And I'm telling you, fucking Titan is ginormous. he makes fucking Ifrit look like a fucking puny shrimp. And Ifrit already was huge. But Titan is like even huger. And you're like, what the fuck? How are you gonna fight this motherfucker? But you just go ahead and fucking beating his ass. And like, you can fucking do jump cancels. I'm like, yo, this game is like on some Devil May Cry shit. It literally had the Devil May Cry combat director do this fucking game, and you can tell, like, you can jump cancel off the Titan, and I'm like, bro, this game is fucking insane. Like, who thought of this shit? And then all of a sudden, you fucking beat Titan's ass, and you're like, yeah. But then the game's like, wait, there's more, motherfucker. And then all of a sudden, Titan eats the fucking ether, and he's like chowing down on that shit, and he gets even bigger and bolder and more stronger, and he's like a fucking mountain at this point, and you're like, holy shit, okay, fuck, we're fucked. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? Oh my god, oh fuck. Like, somebody go get Jill. We're gonna run away, and we're gonna go get Jill, and we're gonna come back and fight this fucker. Fucking Ifrit is like, no bitch, we're going straight into that shit. It's do or die, let's fucking go. And you just run down the whole fucking stadium. You just run down the whole fucking place to get to Titan. And meanwhile you're running, you have to blast the fucking debris that Titan's throwing out of him, out of the sky. And then fucking while all of that shit's happening, the fucking rock and roll music is playing in the background, and it sounds epic as fuck. And then you get on the fucking Titan, and then you're running around Titan, just destroying his shit, and you have to dodge out of the way, you have to move out of the way, you gotta dip and weave your way into the battle. It's insane. It's like, what the fuck? And then fucking after that, you just tear off one of his fucking arms, and then you're fucking like free falling down from a fucking sky, because he throws you in the fucking sky, but you cut off his fucking arm, and you just like, while having the fucking arm in your hand, the rock arm in your hand, free falling down, you're shooting fucking debris out of the sky, and then impale this motherfucker with it. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, it's so insane. But then the game said,
but wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer.
Oh my god. And then Titan pops out of the fucking ground while you're all free falling. Y'all are basically dodging and weaving and dodging Titan swipes and shit. And halfway through that fight, y'all go into a Sock'em Bock'em Dragon Ball Z clash. And it's the most coolest shit. And you knock his jaw clean off. And then the battle's over. And again, that is just another icon battle. And after every boss battle, Clive will not only get this cool ass fucking rendition of the Final Fantasy victory theme, but this time it's fucking epic. It sounds like the fucking gods are singing your prayers, and it's happy that you won. And it just sounds epic as fuck every time you hear it. But then you get the icon abilities. And this is where the game, in terms of the combat system, because the combat system is pretty much just Devil May Cry combat system, but with the Final Fantasy coat of paint on it. And it just gets wild, alright? Like, you will later on get build customization, and you can just have you are able to carry 3 icons on you at any given moment. But then after your 3, you have abilities from those icons, special abilities and then regular abilities. So each icon has a special ability. So like Phoenix can teleport close to an enemy, and then Garugura has like a grab, similar to like how Nero has his Devil Bringer, where it pulls the enemy, or if it's a big enemy, he'll go close to the enemy, similar to that. In in the combat system later on, you'll get your abilities, your regular abilities with those icons, and that's when you can start mixing, matching. You can have like fucking, if you want to go for a more of a stagger build, like you can make that shit. And if you want to go for more of a rush down heavy type of character, you could go for that shit. Like, so much great customization or build customization in this game that is really cool and I really love. And that's where the game shines the most, like the combat system and the icon battles. And then the game just says, fuck all that. You want to get to the next fucking epic icon battle? Two shits. No one gives a fuck what you want. Now go deliver these fucking 3 meals to these fucking bearers in the game. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Oh, go deliver this item, talk to this NPC, and then come back, and then that's the end of the mission. And you learn absolutely nothing. Now, granted, some of the side missions are actually good, and I would even argue near the end of the game, the final few side quests, where it's basically you kind of like saying your goodbyes to the characters and whatnot, it's so heartwarming. There's one side quest in particular with Torgo, your dog, your goat, your boy. It's so heartwarming, I started crying. I was like, this shit is so good. And I'm not going to spoil it because I want people to experience it. But it was so good, I started fucking tearing up. I got a little emotional. But then there are some really banger ones. And the thing about the really interesting ones near the end is that they come so late at the end of the game. It's like, why aren't these side missions not at the fucking beginning of the game or in the middle? It's just like really baffling side quests that you're giving at first. You're giving like really fetch quests or really missions that are just lame, or like MMO side quests, like go collect 50 items, or go collect this and bring it back to this person. Go fight 5 of these enemies and bring it back. Now, granted, the combat system is amazing, and when you're using your icons ability and whatnot, and you're doing your shit with the combat, and you're exploring different routes and ways with the combat, almost like Devil May Cry in a lot of ways, it's fucking amazing. But then, and this is a problem, because you're doing the side quests, and some of the main quests are just fucking, is like, I remember the one with Mid and getting her ship are just so fucking lame. You're just like, bro, can I just get on to the next icon fight so I can get another fucking ability, and so I can make the combat even more interesting? You know, say what you want about like Devil May Cry or other hack and slash games, but the reason why those games are so entertaining for me is that you are progressively every few hours gaining something new or interesting. And this, it takes you like 5 fucking hours in order to get something new, or even less if you decide to do side mission. And that's the thing about this game. And again, the fucking lows are lows, and then we go right back into a high, is that after that, you go right back into the story mode, and you're in this really interesting story with Clive and him trying to like destroy the mother crystals, and everything is all interesting. And you have this political intrigue with all these different cast of characters, and it's so fascinating. I actually was interested with it throughout the whole entire game. It's a little wordy, and one of the things I love about the game is that at any moment through the course of the story, you can hold the D-pad and it will do an active lore dump, and it will tell you who this character is in the cutscene, where we at in the time in the world, and what's the status of the situation of the world. It's almost like a glossary at real time, and you can pause the game at any moment. So if you're ever confused on what the fuck a character is saying, or what does this terminology mean, the game will tell you, and it's fucking dope. And that's why I was like, oh, this is what intrigued me about the story, and I was just keep going. And then we'll go right back down to the fucking it's like a roller coaster. We go right back down again. And then this is, again, the game is too easy. And because the game is so easy, and maybe this is because I'm so used to hack and slash, but because the game is so easy, I never felt, and this is just me personally, I never felt like the RPG mechanics in this game was helpful at all. In fact, I would say this RPG mechanics is fucking lame. I was stunned. It really felt like they just made a hack and slash game. And, you know, I can understand if, again, a lot of old school heads of the Final Fantasy games were like, this is fucking lame. Like, there's no real RPG mechanics. Like, there is RPG mechanics. Again, making your own builds and swapping out different icons' abilities and to find your own personal icon combos and whatnot and what interests you. But in terms of stats, there's a bunch of stats in this game and they're fucking useless. Like, what is the point of some of these stats? Like, I never had to be cautious of, oh my god, like I'm fighting this level 50 enemy while I'm level fucking 30 in the game. I never had to worry about that. Or I had to, or I hope I have the right sword in order, or gear to fight this enemy. It made no fucking difference. As long as you knew how to fight in this game, or if you're good with your dodges and whatever, you fucking was owning this game. I was like, bro, and it's like, what the fuck? And again, I'm not saying, I don't want it to be like what other people are saying. Well, oh, they should have had like enemies having fucking like elemental weaknesses and whatnot. I don't give a fuck about that at all. I'm sorry, that's a hot take. I don't give a fuck. What I wanted was for enemies to, if I had a fire sword and I hit an enemy with a fire sword, it's gonna do damage and it's gonna do normal damage. But what if I hit them with an ice sword? Why don't I just get, it does extra damage? Or if I use a ice sword, all my ice abilities, and when you get Shiva later on in the game, why isn't that upgraded? You feel me? Like these are things that would have made it have a real RPG way of it. And I just felt like, my God, I was like, there's so much missed opportunity. And I was like, come on, like this should have been easy picking for you guys. Like, this could have been easy. Other than that, it made no sense of putting on items. The only item I felt like you really needed to put on was the Berserker Ring. The Berserker Ring is fucking awesome. Go look up how to get that shit if you get the chance of playing this game. And just go ham. Just go ham with the Berserker Ring. Because when you later on you get to dodge and you'll do this epic slide dodge, almost like Clive is like at the last minute dodged out of the way. And it's the most epic shit. Especially later on in the game where you're fighting bosses who are shooting multiple projectiles and you're just sliding and dashing and sliding out of the way, and it looks sick. And after you do those dashes, Clive goes into his limit break for a little bit with no repercussions, and if you keep dodging, you're basically in limit break, infinite limit break moves and damage for a long period of time. It is fucking awesome. Again, cool combat mechanics are in this game. It is so fucking amazing. Story's good. Characters and side characters are so good. Like, Clive is my favorite Final Fantasy protagonist. Like, not only is he powerful as fuck for story reasons, but I love that you just go through the journey of his life from as a kid and a young man all the way up to his 30s, and every time you see him, he's a different version of himself. And oh my goodness, shout outs to Ben Starr, the voice of Clive. He has to carry this whole game on his back, and he carries it with so much conviction, and it's so good. Like, Clive is such a fascinating character. Like generally some good moments, good scenes. There's so many good scenes. Obviously the one, I'm not gonna spoil it, but the truth, accept the truth. That scene is fucking awesome. All right, and there's another scene between him and Jill that is so heartwarming that gave your boy tears. All right, gave your boy almost tears. And that's another thing. Jill, such a sweetheart. Love Jill, love her. I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of Jill. They think she's boring, but Jill is fine. Jill is great. I love her little mini arc that she has earlier in the game. She's just a sweetheart. I love Jill, and I love the romance between Clive and Jill. It also kind of plays into like Final Fantasy 15, where it was kind of like Shiva and I believe Ifrit kind of had a thing going on, so it's kind of more like a continuation of that, just with two human people, and it's so beautiful, it's so sweet. I love these two. They're my favorite Final Fantasy couple, alright? They're so adorable. But then you get fucking Sid. Sid is the Chad. He's the fucking man. He's got the fucking coolest voice in the fucking game. Every time Sid talks, he sounds fucking awesome. Alright? Oh my god. Gabe, your boy, the scout, the hunter man, the scouty boy. He's dope. Saves your ass multiple times in the game. Just an amazing fucking cast of characters. Dion, Mr. Pretty Boy, my man is just cool as hell, and a great way of LGBT representation. I really loved his character. The music in this game, oh my goodness, motherfucker! When you hear the Icon battle music, bro, it is the most hypest shit ever. It makes it feels like gods are fighting amongst gods, and you're witnessing the fucking best throwdown ever. And it's like, it's so fucking awesome, bro. It is the most coolest shit. Then you have fucking, oh my goodness. Then you got the main fucking battle theme, and it sounds fucking awesome, especially when you're dodging out of the way and it's going hard as fuck. It's like, yes, baby. And then you got this fucking cool ass main menu theme music that sounds like we're about to go fucking throw the fucking world into chaos to find my vengeance and get my revenge on the fuckers who did me wrong. Ignite the fucking fire of Ifrit. It's like, bro, it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. And then, of course, you know, you got amazingly good themes in this game. The theme of free will and making your own decisions and living by your own terms and not letting anybody dictate who or what you're going to be. That's sprinkled throughout the whole game with the Branded and then the main villain and his argument and so much, and Clive and his character arc throughout this game. Amazing stuff. And then the theme of brotherhood, the love that Clive had for Joshua, and the journey he goes on with that relationship is beautiful. And of course, my personal favorite, my one, the consequence of unchecked power, which is when you see these icons and how incredible and amazing they look, but the devastation that they bring on the world in this universe, or this realm I should call it, is incredible and also scary when you think about it. They're like fucking nukes. And also like mother crystals, I'm not gonna get into spoilers and things, but the dangers of over relying on that power of the mother crystals and how it's damaged the world. So much amazing things in this game. And then again, it's just like fucking the lows are so bad. It's just like sometimes I'm just like, how did no one oversee this shit? Like again, it's like, how did no one sit there, look at the side missions and say, well, why didn't we have like mini games? Remember in the Final Fantasy VII, you go to the flying saucer and you just are just doing these fun little activities in there, and there's even a combat activity that gives you different items and shit, OP items and shit. It's like even fucking 15 had like a mini game or so. Like the fishing mini game comes to mind now that I think about it. And those are like little mini games. And this game, nothing. It relies on the combat, and the combat's so amazing. And I love it. But again, just going in, and it's just like, I don't know, like just again, like forgetting RPG, typical RPG shit. And I think the RPG stuff could have worked in this comp. I can completely understand why people say this is not a Final Fantasy game. This is not their Final Fantasy. You know, Final Fantasy has to be an RPG and whatnot. I can get it. I understand. And I think for me personally, I just realized that, one, I have no leg to stand on. I can't really talk and say if this is a Final Fantasy game or not because I've only played 3 Final Fantasy games, so I can't really speak. But what I will say is this. One of the things I love about this franchise, especially after playing 16, is that Final Fantasy is always the type of franchise that tries its damnedest to be bold and unique and different in every single installment. And because of that, it really is a Final Fantasy game, a franchise that is going to be different for everybody. Not everyone's gonna like 16. Not everyone is gonna want to play 16. But for those that do and the people who love it or have walked out of it feeling something, this is gonna be their first Final Fantasy. This is gonna be the Final Fantasy that got them into the franchise. And for me, as someone who is a hack and slash fan, this is my Final Fantasy. This is a Final Fantasy I'm going to treasure for the rest of my life. It may not be perfect. It may not be flawed. Hell, it may not even be a Final Fantasy game. But it is truly a special Final Fantasy. And I'm going to treasure that. It's a Final Fantasy game made for me. And that's all that matters. Now, with all that being said, let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you love Final Fantasy 16? Is it a good game? Is it a bad game? Let me know in the comment section below. And without further ado, this is your boy, Mr. Degenerate, signing off. Have a good one. And play some more Final Fantasies. Go pick up all the Final Fantasy games. That's what I literally did after playing 16. I purchased every single one of the Final Fantasy games. So, take care. Bye-bye.